So let's talk about the past, the present, and the future. And to do that, I'm going to okay, so the past is the past. And a lot of us have this linear thinking, and we're like the lead goose, and we're just like forging ahead into the future, trying to aim at a goal. And I think a better analogy of how it really works is that we are in the present moment, and all the past is influencing all the present moment, and all the future possibilities are also influencing the present moment. And we don't really have a lot of control over all those possibilities and all those things that happened before, like eons of time before. We're not talking just about, yesterday or your personal biography. Like, there's a whole history of the universe that happened in our past, and there's a whole future of the universe that's in our future. So we're on this little narrow place, and our only point of power is really right now. And I think that if we have a gesture of pushing into the future, you can do that. You can experiment with that, but let's try a different way. So I'm going to show you this is a graphic off my website. Let's see if I can get it to work. Oh my goodness, I had it so it worked. How come it doesn't work? Come on. Anyway, there's a figure right there. I don't know how to work my iPad, evidently. And the upper two octaves are the astral, or emotions and images, and the spiritual, or the octave of self-awareness. And the lower two octaves, this is just a fourfold way of looking at things. It's not the truth, it's just a certain point of view. Anyway, these lower two octaves are the octave of life force. Rudolf Steiner calls that the etheric. And that's, we all know the difference between a corpse and a sleeping body, so that's their life force. And then there's the physical, and that's what we share with the rocks and minerals. So I would say that the past is really apparent in these lower two octaves, and the future is very apparent in these upper octaves. All right, they're all happening right now, though. The spiritual, it's all there, but the point of power is right in the middle. So, and I think that the physical deed that we can do to center ourselves in the present is open our hearts. In Chinese medicine, the heart is all about the here and now, the lub-dub, lub-dub, lub-dub. It's a very quick rhythm that you can still relate to. We have all these chemical reactions that are happening hundreds of times a second, but it's hard for us to consciously relate to them. But we can relate to our heart beating. And there's all sorts of research about, heart math and all that good stuff. So if we open our heart to the past, what we do is we open our hearts to having a new point of view about the past issues that are forming our now. And just say, interesting, from Access Consciousness, you can say, interesting point of view. I have this point of view that my cancer was caused because I can't forgive my mother, or something like that, or my cancer was caused from all those chemicals I ate, or my cancer was caused because I'm a sugar addict. So that would be a point of view about that. And then a point of view about your future would be as if you're putting images of health, of wealth, of wisdom, of freedom. When you look into the future in your mind, if you see those, that's very different than if you see gloom and doom and despair and, imprisonment. And so our point of power is to be here now, knowing that, there's a assorted future things and assorted ways to look at the future. And the future is actually coming into the now, and the past is coming into the now. And so our point of power is that microdot thing there. In esoteric Christianity, that's actually the Christ. And that's what transforms all this to something newer. And again, this is just a point of view. All right, so The goal for this visualization is to be curious and present. It's very materialistic and not as accurate to feel like you have to be reverent and holy while you're doing a distance healing. So you might feel like I'm not being pious enough when I do this. And I just want you to know that I'm doing it very deliberately. I'm just in the here and now. Sometimes I laugh, sometimes I'm feeling something kind of grungy in me, and I might say that. Because if you can imagine, sometimes the past embodies negative emotions. And as you heal in the present moment, you might actually get a whiff of something transforming into a different dimension. And so if you're busy being positive, you can't really let that happen, right? So I'm not telling you to be miserable while we're doing this distance healing. I'm just saying to just be here now, authentically yourself. Of course, you can open your heart to the positive that's available for us. That would be like the future, being available to future good things. But in the here and now, when you're healing, often gunk comes up, and you might feel a shadow or a feeling of anger or sadness or something. And I would say if that happens, that if you can, I would amplify, don't go into it, like don't indulge in that, but just spin your spinner faster. So we're going to use a spinning meditation during the whole visualization that we're going to do. And if you do get a negative emotion in the here and now, just spin and be present with it. Okay, don't judge it as right or wrong or good or bad. All right, anything else I wanted to say? Yeah, so, is this safe? So this event is dedicated to your healing. Sometimes those grungy things feel like is it safe to even feel this? It feels so old and vast and bad. And this whole thing is this whole event is dedicated to your healing and the healing of the people and the animals that have their names on the list. So that creates a container of safety. All right. And if you want, I put, an image of light around the whole event. But what you can do is you can do that too, or you can surround yourself with a boundary of protection and clarity if you want to do that. But just know that I'm doing that. You don't have to do that if you don't know how to do that. Okay? Because I want this to be accessible to everybody. And sorry, I can't figure out how to use my iPad. Such a great graphic. Well, anyway. As I say, I'm not the technical part of the team. All right? Okay. So let's begin the visualization. All right. So close your eyes. Let's do this.